sports, run pure sports, run pure bets, DFS at bets. It's Holden here. I got Mangone in Florida. I got Keg hanging out in Jersey. I'm here in Denver, just having a good time today, everybody. I got a whole bunch of points that I need to read here, so let me get this out of the way. Like this video. How do you do it, Mangone?
Give, as JJ says, the 2 thumbs up on the video.
Didn't see your thumb at all, but I think they heard you. The NBA is back, ladies and gents. Right, Keg? The NBA is back. Hopefully we won't get our asses kicked tonight. Buckets 15 is the promo code. Buckets 15, 15% off the life of your subscription. NBA season, it doesn't matter what season it is. Baseball, football, MMA, golf. We got everything here. And we got a free show debuting tomorrow. What's going on tomorrow, Mangone?
Free show. I'm trying to think, what free show do we have debuting tomorrow?
Yeah, through premium NBA content. I don't even know.
No, we have a free show today. Well, I guess that we've already done that. The hardwood show. I'm trying to think of what free show we have tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to know too. Listen.
Oh, I know what it is. I remember now. So we have the hardwood today at 4:45. But the show we're talking about tomorrow is we have the 3-game NFL Saturday show. That's
yes.
What we have. That's going to be with, I think, BigT, Hoop AP, JSU, a combination of 3 of those 4.
Okay, good.
So
good.
They'll be covering the Saturday slate, and we're covering some of the Saturday games too as well. So that'll be good stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to the NBA content in just a little bit too. Keg, how are you, buddy? I know you've been watching Christmas movies. You know, you wanted to throw the Die Hard thing out there. You're watching Nick Cage Christmas specials. I mean, this is amazing. Seems like you're living the life.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I decided last night I will die on that hill. So
okay, it's not a hill I want to die on. There's other hills to die on, Keg.
Such
as the Jets. You're dying on the Jets hill.
Like we're just gonna go there 4 minutes into the show. That's what we're gonna do. My hopes and dreams got crushed, and now we're just gonna go there.
No, I thought you'd. I don't know what, Mango. What do you want to add?
Well,
to
first
that?
thing, I'm very passionate about how dumb the Jets were this weekend. But second thing, Jay just came in literally wanting to fight about this Die Hard thing. Jay is definitely the guy that goes to every Christmas party. He's like, do you guys think Die Hard's a Christmas movie? He always wants to get the take on it, right? He's that guy. And
listen, I may or may not have ordered a Die Hard Christmas sweater last night. I may have.
Well, listen, guys. It was dropped. The movie was dropped in the summer, but it's a Christmas party. So I think everybody's right on this. I'm sorry I don't have a hard take on one side or the other. I can't be polarizing, but I think it's both. If you say it's not a Christmas movie, it's not. It was a summer blockbuster. I saw it in the theaters. That's how old I am. The other side of things, though, Keg, summer movie, man. I mean, come on. It's a summer movie.
Or it's a Christmas movie. Either way.
You know what it is? It's a bunch of Eastern European commies trying to kill Americans. And that's what really pissed me off. Here's what we're doing on the DFS and Bet show today, guys. We're going to go through the Friday game, Minnesota, New Orleans. We got the 3 Saturday games, Tampa Bay at Detroit, San Francisco, Arizona, Miami at Vegas. And then Mangone, you picked out 2 special ones for the Sunday slate, right?
Yeah, I picked out 2 of I guess the games I thought were maybe the best. And one of them's it's not on the main slate schedule. So it's going to be a little bit of a different show, right? We got the Christmas slate, which is going to be on an island by itself. You'll be probably playing the Showdown slate. So we'll kind of talk that more Showdown perspective. Then we'll obviously talk the Saturday games, the 3 of those, that'll be its own slate. And then I just picked the marquee matchup, felt like Falcons Chiefs was the one. And then I know it's kind of on an island and you can play the Yahoo slate on Yahoo. You'll be able to get exposure to that game, but Titans Packers has to be one of the funner games. I know I am a Packers fan, so I might be a little biased, but I'm super excited to watch the Packers team that gets ran over by the run against the Titans team that gets destroyed by the pass and watch both those sides work. I can't.
Could be the game of the year. Really could be. I mean, it's set up for an offensive explosion. Real quick before we get into the NBA, Mangone, premium NBA content. Besides for me and JSU doing our final countdown show right up to lock, which I'm sure you'll join us once in a while. What else we got going on for NBA content that's premium if you sign up with Buckets 15?
Yeah, use the code Buckets15, get you 15% off, for life. If you keep that, code, if you leave and then come back, you won't get it, right? So you got to stick with us. But yeah, so the way that works is we're going to have tons of awesome content. We have the premium show that you have. We have the the playbook. We have everyone's core plays, JSU, me, Hoop, BigT, so many people, Titletown, all jumping on the core plays for NBA. We also have, I'll be doing like a little news blurb thing where I'm basically putting all the news for the day for the people. That's always big in the NBA. We have the Discord chat. That's one of the biggest things, right? Having conversations with other DFS players, right? Getting better. There might be someone in the chat saying, hey, I'm looking at fading this guy. And you can ask them, why are you fading him? And they might drop you a nugget. Oh, well, I think he's going to be super high owned. And I think there's leverage going this guy. So that's the premium Discord chat. And there's so much awesome information and news in there. So that's one of the best things alone.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Discord chat right now. And Mangone just said horrible things about you, Keg. It was just awful, the things that he puts in our Discord. The bet side too, NBA underway. We got Spreadus there. We got the playoffs coming up. You can add the bet side for just $20. I know we got to get to the NFL stuff, but I'm just too excited. We got too much stuff going on, Keg.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Forgettable opening night. We'll put that in the rear view. But Spread and Tyler are profitable long-term NBA bettors.
Tyler too.
They'll be on the forefront for our NBA bets content. And then obviously I'll be running the live shows like normal. We'll have NBA live shows where we live bet the slate. And it's a lot of fun, man. Discord's worth the money alone.
NFL has been very profitable being on and watching the live show. I'll tell you that much. Let's get into this game here. We'll start from the betting perspective, Keg. Minnesota, New Orleans. This is now a 7-point favorite for the Saints. The total is 51. I mean, if you really wanted to bet the under, 51.5 over at DraftKings right now. But Keg, Minnesota still thinking they got a chance at this. New Orleans coming off a tough loss last week. I got to think Breeze is going to be better with a week under his belt, not having to face the Chiefs defense and now getting to face this just debacle of a secondary for the Vikings.
Yeah, sometimes you play a game and you're just on the short end of the stick. I think that happened for the Vikings on Sunday because if you look at the numbers in that game, they played almost identically even to what the Bears did. Same yards per play, almost the exact total yards, first down, turnover differential, and total plays. So, at the end of the day, they come up 6 points short and they didn't get the job done, but they didn't play bad. I mean, the Vikings are exactly what we all figured they would be at the start of the year, a 7-9, 8-8 type team, nothing more, nothing less. The Saints, man, they played really poorly the last 2 weeks. They win 10 of their first 12. Now they drop 2 in a row. On Sunday, that offense was bad. Breeze comes back. Yeah, okay. They have like less than 290 yards total offense. And what's alarming is they had the ball for 18 of 60 minutes on offense. So the fact that I pushed that Chiefs game on the sheet, bro, was ridiculous because the Chiefs played better basically from start to finish. I thought I was able to get the 2.5 and double down. But for the Saints, this is not the time to fall apart and look bad. Not when you're on your way for what could be a serious playoff run. And in Drew's defense, he hadn't played in a few weeks. Michael Thomas doesn't play. But what was most surprising to me this weekend were the 2 best defenses in football looked really ordinary. Like, I guess, you can say the Saints had an excuse because they played the Chiefs, unlike the Rams against the Jets. But still, the Saints have not looked good, in my opinion, in like 3 weeks. So as far as the spread, I guess I'll lean Minnesota and take the touchdown. Now, you can make the argument that this could be a get-right spot for the Saints off a tough couple weeks. And if you feel that way, it's understandable, and you could be right. But with no Michael Thomas again here, I don't think he's done for the regular season at least, right?
Michael Thomas, it's stick a fork in him.
Right. So I guess my lean will be the Vikings at plus a touchdown. With the total being at 51.5, I lean under. I think we're going to see a better effort defensively from the Saints. And it wouldn't shock me to see Drew Brees struggle again slightly as he gets his bearings back off like a million broken ribs. So, he'll have Kamara, but I don't know, man. The offense looks different when Drew Brees doesn't have Michael Thomas. So I'll lean under 51.5 here, slight lean. And I guess I'll lean towards taking the touchdown with Minnesota.
All right, let's talk about this from DFS side. I guess we'll cover this more as a showdown slate, but the biggest thing I've been taking out of the Vikings here the last 3 weeks, Mangone, is that Justin Jefferson has outsnapped Adam Thielen in 2 of those 3 weeks. It hasn't been by a large margin, but I think what that tells you is there's a new number one in town. Like they know they're in Minnesota that this guy is the man. And on the other side, everybody's going to be on Emmanuel Sanders. Sure, he could blow up, but he's seeing 5 or 6 targets. He's not having outlandish numbers. And I'm a little concerned about Kamara too. I mean, as far as those blow-up games, we haven't seen the blow-up games in a while. I mean, even the last 2 weeks. 22.4 on DK, 18.4 on DK, before that 17.7. Like Kamara, he can win you a slate, but we haven't seen it recently, Mangone.
Yeah, Kamara can definitely win you a slate, and this is definitely a matchup he can do it, right? He is the most expensive guy. So I pulled up the showdown slate now. He is 7.1K. Actually, no, sorry. Dalvin Cook is at 18K in the captain spot specifically. And Kamara, the reason I love him is just the PPR, right? All of that upside that he can get in the floor with that, it's just so incredible. I mean, last week he got 6 targets, which is nice. You could see him even get higher amount of targets, especially with them being as banged up as they are. They might just be like, hey, we need to lean on Kamara more if we're going to kind of get this done. And they are fighting for, getting that number 1 seed. It's in the Packers, hands right now. So it depends obviously how things shake up against the Titans, but yeah, that's a game that they want to be winning, right? They're going to go out there and try and take that thing down. So I like Kamara as a captain option. I think he's a really good play. I think you bring up a great point with Jefferson too. I love Justin Jefferson. I think he's a really talented kid. Someone that I definitely think I want to be getting exposure to in Showdown. And I kind of mentioned this to Jay. He was kind of asking me on Monday, he was playing some Showdown. He asked me kind of some tips. And one tip I give on FanDuel specifically, play the wide receiver 1 or any wide receiver in the MVP slot. And the reason why is everyone plays the quarterbacks, right? They play all the expensive guys, but if you scroll down and find like a receiver that's like again, like Deontay Johnson, I think last week was like maybe like, I don't know, I think 10 or 12% owned, which is still a decent amount of ownership, but wide receiver 1s have higher ceilings than running backs, right? For the most part, unless you're Christian McCaffrey. But I think Justin Jefferson's ceiling could be really, really high here. They could be losing for most of the game, throwing to him a ton. And if that's the case, you could see a massive game from him. And I love putting him in the MVP slot. You'll see him at like 5% owned or less probably over on FanDuel. So that gives you a totally differentiation point that can make your team unique. And on FanDuel, it's hard to make your team unique because they don't have different salaries for your players. And that's why I specifically mentioned that. On DraftKings, obviously they have different types of salaries. You have Justin Jefferson, and I'm looking at the captain salaries right now. I see 13.8K for Jefferson. And then Emmanuel Sanders is 13.2. Like, I'm sorry. Like, give me Justin Jefferson all day. Like, that's one thing that can be a little bit wonky sometimes about these salaries is they can be a bit too close. And one thing I want to mention too, when I'm looking at the Saints guys, we know the Saints like to spread the ball around, correct, Holden? And because they like to spread the ball around, let's look at some of these cheap receivers that you might not know, that people might not know and might not go to. The guy that might get some run and might get some talk is our boy Bruce. It's from his old team, his team Texas. He played last year there. His name, one of the best names in the NFL, his name is not Jordan Humphrey, it's Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Lil Jordan, right.
Lil Jordan Humphrey. So that man is going to be 2.6K. He has 4 targets last week. And I'm not saying it could be him. It could be Johnson too that gets some work. If you look, Johnson got 4 targets, had 0 receptions, but still the same amount of targets as him. Look to mix in some of these wonky Saints guys, mix and match them throughout your lineups. Don't be afraid to throw in a splash of Tommy Lee Lewis. I know Tommy Lee Lewis isn't, my favorite player in the world. He's not amazing, but he's a guy that can get the deep ball at times. And you wouldn't be shocked if he caught one. I know Drew Brees, he didn't look good and doesn't look like he can throw 20 yards, but you never know if they do some kind of gadget play from like Taysom Hill throwing it to Tommy Lee Lewis down the field. So don't be afraid to mix in those cheap Saints guys. And then on the Vikings, obviously if you play Kirk Cousins, like if you're going to play Thielen and Jefferson, I think you want to captain Kirk Cousins. And the reason why is because that means if you play both those guys and they have nice ceiling games, that means Kirk Cousins in the captain slot is going to have a monster game. So it's all about correlation in Showdown and trying to pick out the correct game script that you think it's going to go to. Dalvin Cook is a fade for me. I would just put all my exposure onto Kamara over Dalvin Cook. I feel confident enough to say, give me Kamara over Cook every single time.
Mangone, what's your grandpa's name? I know he's watching today. You want to give a shout out?
Yeah, his nickname, he's kind of like the captain we got over here, Captain Ed. So we can give a shout out to Captain Ed.
Was he in the Navy?
No, he drove boats, pilot boats. So
right
yeah,
on.
he was the captain of the ship. So yeah,
Cool.
Shout out to Captain Ed.
All right, Kegger, let's do this here. Let's get to this Saturday slate, buddy. Are you doing a live show on that Saturday slate? I'll be home by nighttime. I have not missed a NFL game this year. I will be taking the first two games off to hang out with my kids. That's it. I said, screw it. I'm putting my foot down. I need some kid time. You going to be doing a show that day on Saturday?
You know anybody that does more sports betting content than me, bro?
No, I don't.
So the answer is I will not only be doing those Saturday shows, I'll be on Christmas Day. How about that?
Look at that.
I'm working Christmas Day. I can't hop on.
You know me, man. If there's a game, I'm there.
All right, let's do it. Make sure you check out Run Pure Bets too, guys. Live shows we just have been cleaning up this year. Tampa Bay at Detroit, live betting, of course. Tampa Bay at Detroit. This line moved all the way to Tampa Bay minus 9.5 on the road. The total here is 54. Keg, I don't know about this total, tell you the truth. I do know that Detroit is a complete debacle. They've got a big problem without Kenny Golladay. This offense just hadn't been the same. Matt Stafford's body is falling apart. Tampa Bay's coming off an outing where, they looked like crap for 3 quarters and finally woke up and took care of business. I just think they go in here, but 9.5, 9 or 9.5. I like them to win, but that's a lot of points, Keg.
I agree. Yes. Sunday, the Bucs were the latest team in the NFL to benefit from another Atlanta Falcons choke job. They're down 17-0 at the half. They score 31 in the second half to win the game. To me, and I've been saying it all year, I've been ringing the bell on this show. The Bucs, to me, are a fugazi good. Okay, now, interesting enough, certain analytics make this Bucs team look really, really good, but I'm not buying it, man. They're the only team in the NFL this year to be in the top 5 in both offensive and defensive DVOA, but they don't look like that. It doesn't meet the eye test to me at all. Mm-hmm. The offense looks lost more than they look good. And the defense is not a complete defense. Yes, are they probably the best run defense in the NFL? Maybe. But you can get yours on that passing defense whenever you want it this year. So I'm not sold. If they make the playoffs, I think they could easily lose in the first round. Like you just said, as for the Lions, nothing new here. They suck, and they suck bad. They got teabagged by the Titans on Sunday. Titans hang like 50 on them. And the Lions, put up like 25. But it's the same song every week. Lions -3 in turnovers, blah, blah, blah. Another week where the defense gives up 7 yards per play, blah, blah, blah. So they should lose this week, even though I don't think that the Bucs are anywhere near as good as the marketplace does. They're still good enough to beat the Lions.
Okay.
So now, but what you said, the issue with this spread is 9.5 is a lot of points, man. It's a lot of points. So for me, it has to be dog or pass at this number. I don't want to say that it's probably a pass. We'll see. Maybe it gets to 10, and maybe I'll take a shot at the Lions at 10. The Lions were a really solid first half play under Patricia with the first half splits. Obviously, he's gone. And Tampa Bay has been really slow out of the gate for a while now offensively. So even though Patricia's gone, maybe you can look to a play on the Lions first half rather than taking them full game. Mm-hmm. As for the total, I'll lean under again. Even if the Bucs hang 30, which is not an automatic by any stretch, but let's say they do, can you really pencil the Detroit Lions in for 25 against what is supposed to be a top 5 defense in DVOA? No, you can't. It's not an automatic. So I'll take the shot with under 54.5 here. And if it gets to 10, slightly in Lions, or maybe you look to a Lions first half.
All right, from a DFS side here, Mangone, looking at this, I think the wide receiver position to me is the most interesting. You've got Marvin Jones at 4.9K, and I don't understand what DraftKings was thinking there. I mean, he's coming off a 12 target, 10 catch, 112 yard and a touchdown performance. He's had 12 targets in 3 of 4 games, exactly 12 targets. I mean, this guy, he is the focal point of the passing game. They're going to need to pass. Then we got Antonio Brown. He's 5'3". He finally scored last week. He got back in the box. So good. He had a nice week too. I just think the build at wide receiver, you're going to be able to find some gems here. I know you're a gem guy. You can find some gems at wide receiver in this game, Mangone.
Yeah, it's tough. I will say, since we're giving shout out to Leonard Fournette for getting me in the cash line, falling in the end zone. That was a great time. So, I mean, I'm excited to kind of see how they approach this game. Because listen, it's the Lions, right? And we have to make a decision. Are we playing Leonard Fournette, who, yeah, he had that big game last week, but some people want to say, oh, you know, he was a bad play, but what will people do, right? I'm excited to kind of see how that shakes out. I think I'll play him here against the Lions. It makes sense, obviously, because of how bad they are against the run. If I played him last week, I feel like I got to play him this week. And it's only a 3-game slate, right? It's not on the main slate. The receiver position is tough, man, because like I absolutely hate playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers roulette, right? It's not fun. You got to pick between Evans, Brown, Godwin. Is it Scotty Miller taking one for 50 yards? Is it Rob Gronkowski falling into the end zone? I don't know which one it's going to be. I think I would try my best to stay away, but if I get forced to kind of have to pick one or the other, I don't know. Mike Evans at 6.1 is really cheap, man. It is getting up there, and it feels like a spot where he could absolutely go crazy. I don't want to go and chase Antonio Brown. I feel like ownership will likely get inflated now on Antonio Brown because he was the guy last week. So I would look for the guy who wasn't the guy, right? Kind of just yo-yo back and forth between zig and zag. That's kind of the approach that I would maybe take with the Buccaneers. But we have to play some of these guys, right? They have a 31 total. They're going to put up points. Maybe you just do that by making Brady your main quarterback. Again, that's hard to do though, because we have a slate where Kyler Murray's on it, who we'll definitely talk about here shortly, and I will want to be playing him. But yeah, ultimately it's hard to figure out this Buccaneers situation with it only being a 3-game slate and there are 31 total. You're going to have to take some shots on some guys. I'm likely leaning on letting people play Antonio Brown, who had the big game last week, and going to guys like Evans or Godwin instead.
And then for the rest of the plays here, this game just doesn't interest me. DeAndre Swift. I mean, DeAndre Swift blew up last week. You know, I think
it's a tough matchup, though. I will say, you brought up a great point earlier. Marvin Jones, the point you brought up was really great. He shouldn't be 4.9, right? He should maybe like 5.5K or more, maybe even 5.8. I don't know if I'd put him. I wouldn't put him too high because I don't want to mess up the make him priced out too much. But he does feel like he's going to be like a cash game lock in a way. And the reason why is they're going to have a losing game script likely. It's really hard to run on the Bucs. They're playing at a fast pace. The game is in a dome. All the things are lining up for Marvin Jones to be a super safe cash game play that you kind of want to get some exposure to on this slate.
Hawkinson?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Obviously, it depends, right? We got to look at the other tight ends on the slate. You got Gesicki lurking there. I want to know what the injury news is on all these guys. Parker, Gesicki. Okay. Curious how all that shakes out. You have Waller on the slate as well, but he's expensive, right? I mean, he is up there in price. I'm looking now, DraftKings. He's $7K. Yeah, so it depends, obviously, like where you're spending your salary. You know me, I don't typically like to spend my salary there. We got CJ Beathard is going to be in there, and like, I mean, Jordan Reed has looked better and he's 2.9K. I'm not saying that Jordan Reed's great, but that's kind of an option. And if you're looking even cheaper, I know we're kind of like just talking about tight ends, but it's relative to talking about TJ Hawkinson. It makes some sense. Like Dan Arnold has kind of popped out of nowhere. It's been really odd. I don't know. Maybe he's someone to kind of consider, but ultimately I think TJ Hawkinson is more of a tournament play to play in your game stacks with the Buccaneers, I would think. That's kind of where I'm thinking. I would put him in the game stack. If I'm going like Brady, Fournette, and Evans, run it back with a Hawkinson, something like that.
All right. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel right here, Run Pure Sports. Don't forget about the Run Pure Bets YouTube channel as well. There's tons of stuff going on over there. I mean, we got a whole bunch of awesome stuff, including Monkey Knife Fight, which I have been very profitable at. Basically, anybody that has signed up from Run Pure Sports or Bets that has played Monkey Knife Fight has probably won, because Hoop is giving out tons of winners, Rubio Dimes, Titletown, all going in there winning Monkey Knife Fight, basically head-to-head props, over-unders, and such fantasy points. So let's do it. $50. You get a deposit match up to $50. And also there's a contest going on. I don't know if you heard about this. Tweet us a screenshot of your win from Monkey Knife Fight using the hashtag RPSMKF. Run Pure Sports Monkey Knife Fight. RPS MKF will be picking 2 winners for t-shirts. So if you want a t-shirt, take your winning screenshot and RPS MKF. Very good. So, Mr. Kegger, San Francisco and Arizona here. Kyler Murray has been going absolutely bananas. There's an implied total of almost 27 points for the Cardinals. Total here is 49. Spread here, Arizona 5-point favorites at home. I know it's a divisional game, but boy, Kyler Murray's been going bananas. Can San Francisco keep up offensively with this team?
No, I don't think so.
No.
The San Francisco 49ers have now lost 6 of the last 7 games, and if not for a field goal win over the Rams, it would be 7 straight losing weeks. That is exceptionally bad. So now, granted, they have all the built-in excuses in the world with the amount of injuries that they've dealt with this year. But the fact remains they continue to not reach the marketplace expectation. So the last 2 weeks, it's been really bad. 0-2 straight up and against the spread against the NFC East. I actually backed them against Washington and the Cowboys because I thought that they had reached the floor and it just couldn't get any worse, and I was wrong. -4 in turnovers on Sunday, again against the Cowboys. Somehow, man, in a game where they outgained the Cowboys by about 170 yards, they managed to give up 41 points and lose the game by 8. That's hard to do against the Cowboys. So I finally given up, and I tapped out from back in the 49ers. It doesn't matter if Mullins is the QB, Beathard. They're both quarterbacks who aren't good enough to overcome the injuries on both sides of the ball. So for the Cardinals now, after a rough 5-week stretch for the Cardinals, they were actually able to get right the last 2 weeks against the NFC East, something that the 49ers could not do. And, they did what they needed to against the Giants, and they did it convincingly. Last weekend, they were able to beat the Eagles, despite the fact that the Cards could not protect the football in that game, and a very solid game from Jalen Hurts, right? So, and on the flip side of the turnover end, it's also hard to be -3 in turnovers in an NFL football game and still beat a team by a touchdown. But the Cards got it done. And like you said, Murray looks healthier than he did the month prior, and he looks to be back to what he does. So as far as the spread, even though the line opened at 3 and I see some 4.5s out there still, I still lean the Cardinals here because it's 2 teams going in the opposite direction with one team that has absolutely everything to play for and another that cannot wait to get to the golf course. So I like the Cardinals as far as a side, even though if you haven't jumped in on them already, you've lost about 1.5 worth of value, which you never love to do. But I think that they probably win by margin this week. As for the total, I lean over. The Cardinals should be able to hang a nice number on the 49ers. And the Cardinals still have these games where they give up points in bunches to really inept offenses. And look no further than the 33 that the Cowboys just put up on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say, give me the Cardinals and lean over.
So, Mangone, if Keg likes the over here, and I'm kind of leaning over too. Kyler Murray is 100% now. He's feeling great. He's running a little bit, and DeAndre Hopkins has been going absolutely bananas. Thoughts on the Arizona offense, and is there anybody we can run it back with from San Francisco this week? Kittle, actually, you know what? I saw Kittle could return. I don't know if you want to trust Kittle coming off of basically his body exploding, but he could be out there too.
Yeah, if the site's like somehow mispriced Kittle, feel free to jump on if they have some random price tag. Yeah. I will say it's like the Jets and Giants, right? It's a home and home game now, right? San Francisco's home is Arizona, so that's kind of interesting. And we get another dome game, right? They're all dome games, which is kind of nice. It should be interesting. Kyler Murray is going to be like the guy, right? Like I can't get off him. We talked about it last week on a bunch of shows. Holden, basically load up on him. He's healthy. He's fine. I talked with a bunch of people. They were saying Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, and I took my stand. Holden, I planted my flag. I was like Kyler over Lamar. And after that Lamar game, I was feeling a little scared, but I said, Kyler can still get it done. I'm not worried. And hey, he got the job done. It was an awesome game, and I expect him to be running around having another big game here against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not too scared of their defense here. So give me him. DeAndre Hopkins as well. Christian Kirk has a really nice price tag. Don't mind that. I think you can mix and match all these guys if you're trying to get, again, it's a 3-game slate. If you're trying to get a little different, and I played the 3-game slate last week at the 4:00 games. I played some Larry Fitzgerald, and I ran it back with Greg Ward Jr., right? And that was the way I got pretty different. And like, if the Cam Akers chalk would have hit, I would have had a nice little hit, I think, over in that contest. So it's a 3-game slate, and those are really awesome ways to get different. Finding these random receivers just to kind of get some exposure to that others are not going to be on. So be on the lookout for that. On the other side, it's tough to figure out who to run it back with, right? Because I don't know if I want to go with Jeff Wilson or Jerick McKinnon. Wilson, yeah, Ayuk is probably the guy, right? The price has gone up to 6.7K. Like, if you run it back with anyone in that game, it's probably him. But I get uncomfortable when I see Kendrick Bourne, when I see Richie James, River Craycraft, all those guys. It's like definitely super uncomfortable. But Kendrick Bourne has been, better when Debo is out. He has kind of slid into a decent role. So if you want to get a cheap receiver option, I don't mind going to him. I think he could be interesting. So it's probably Ayuk and Bourne. You can make the case that Jeff Wilson is going to get most of the work. And at 5K, it's a really nice price tag. And we have to play 2 running backs on this slate, right? And you did not want to play Leonard Fournette. You told me, Holden, you were not.
No, I don't want to. Just because you don't want to doesn't mean you don't play a guy. You know that.
Sure. I know. But and just to kind of give you like an overview of the running backs on the slate and why I might play Jeff Wilson is, man, like these are the running backs. Josh Jacobs, Salvin Ahmed, Kenyon Drake, and of course, Chase Edmonds is lurking there. Jeff Wilson, Swift, and Fournette. Like, this is a really, really bad running back slate. And it's 3 games, right? So I'm not surprised, but we don't have any bell cows on this slate. So Jeff Wilson might make more sense the more that we're kind of talking through this slate. And again, 5K is a decent price tag on him. And we expect that game to go over. Jay kind of said it there. I kind of agree with him. I think it's a pretty good game. Could have a lot of scoring going on. And yeah, you can see with CJ Beathard being in there, you could see, Mr. Jeff Wilson be leaned on more.
Gentleman, make sure if you're watching right now, you've already hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel here on Run Pure Sports and on the Run Pure Bet side. Kegger, we got a little night game here. We got a little Miami, Las Vegas action. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. Maybe they just stink. Maybe they're not well coached. Maybe they're not well, they're rostered and put together well. I don't know what the answer is. I've been trying to figure it out. Miami's probably been the biggest surprise in the National Football League. They are laying 3 points on the road in the Roomba, or they call it the Death Star, or whatever the hell they want to call it out there. 47.5 is the total. Here, Keg, go into the total first, because you can get it at 48 if you want to bet under. It's at DK again. But what about the total here? Can either one of these teams just put up points against the other one?
My notes say the total feels right to me here. I don't really see an edge either way.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's defense has been playing well enough where it wouldn't shock me to see this game squeak under the total. But all in all, the number feels about right, and it's a pass. The Dolphins. One thing you got to say, man, they continue to get the job done against teams that they are supposed to get the job done against. That has been my takeaway from this team the last month. They play 3 very bad teams and the Chiefs, right? They met the marketplace expectation in all 4 games. And there's something to be said for that. They covered against the Jets, the Bengals, the Patriots, and they did lose that Chiefs game, but they covered. So, has Tua looked great? No. But, is he getting the job done every week? Yeah. Last week, he only had 140 passing yards, but the Miami running game went for 250. So it looks like the Dolphins they're making a conscious effort right now to definitely trust the defense. So they're the best unit on this team by a wide margin, and they're keeping the team in every game that they play. So, they're fighting for a playoff spot with 2 weeks to go. They need the game really bad. And, the Raiders, man, I agree with everything you said. Miami's playing a team now where They're better than the last 3 teams that they beat, but they're not as good as the last team that they lost to. So I don't know what to make of this Raider team either. Like they're in total limbo to me, somewhere between a bad team and a good team. I'm not sure. I don't know what if Carr is playing this week, but it might be better for the Raiders that he doesn't play. Marcus Mariota looked pretty good when he went in there when Carr got injured last week. They still did lose to the Chargers, which was a team that had only beaten the Jaguars, the Jets, and the Bengals up until that point. But Mariota looked better than I thought he would. And the biggest issue for the Raiders, and it's every week, the defense allows their opposing team to get whatever they want week after week. So the look-ahead line on this game was the Raiders -1.5. And it's moved 4.5 points. I see 3s out there for Miami. But, I don't know if that has more to do with Mariota potentially starting over Carr more than anything else. Despite the movement in this line, I still think that the Dolphins probably win this game, and they probably cover the 3, even though it will probably be a pass for me. I definitely lean Miami -3. And if we see a little buyback and it gets under a field goal, I might pull the trigger on Miami -2.5. But I agree with you. Like, I know what this Miami football team is. I do not know what this Raiders football team is. And as far as the total is, it's total pass. Number feels right to me.
Just pass it. Just pass on it. We can't pass on it DFS, Mangone. We just can't do it. So Mariota is probably, let's go look at the slate. We got Kyler Murray, number 1, right? And then is he going to be the 2nd or 3rd highest owned quarterback on the slate? I'm talking about Mariota right now, Mangone.
Yeah, I mean, the price tag's cheap. I wonder if there's like a jamming approach with it. I don't think it'd be him. I think people would just go Tua for $400 more. No,
yeah.
I mean, it's the Dolphins defense has been really good. Like, I mean, it's kind of scary to take Mariota there, and Tua kind of runs enough where you're fine with it, right? And he's been pretty decent, and that Raiders secondary has not been good. So I don't think Mariota gets kind of that type of ownership, and I think you're okay. I think I'd rather go up to Tua instead. On the road, I think that would make some more sense. And I get it. We talked about how Jay wants to pass on this in betting. Well, we can. We're going to be firing the Showdown slate probably for this one. I mean, it'll be the last game of the night. There'll probably be some big prize pools, I'm sure, for this disgusting game. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to get excited about it, though. So I want to understand the health of Devontae Parker, Jakeem Grant, and Mike Gesicki. I can't give you that answer now. That's something you need to be reading on like Saturday and understand like what their role is going to be and how they're going to kind of be approaching it all. I think Devontae Parker at 5.5K seems way too cheap, and I'll probably be looking to get some exposure against this terrible Raiders team. I hope he kind of has a questionable tag on DraftKings and has it all day. That way, maybe it keeps the ownership down. That would always be nice. So that's probably one of my favorite options. Lynn Boyden Jr. has gotten some decent work. We saw obviously Matt Breida. I don't know if the word is breakout last week. It was him and Ahmed. They both were pretty good. I don't know. It's hard to really figure out that running back situation of who's going to get the work. And you can make a case that Ahmed and Breida, they got more work last week combined because of all those guys being out, right? If Parker's back and Gesicki, I think one guy just becomes the lead guy, and it's going to be more of a guessing game when it comes to that. I lean it being Ahmed, though, if I had to pick. Let's talk about the Raiders side of the ball. Holden, you've been playing Nelson Aguilar. He's definitely cooled off a little, but he's still kind of humming along, doing his thing. I don't mind him. Maybe he goes a little overlooked at 4.5K with Marvin Jones there. Henry Ruggs is 4K. He has some upside. We have a lot of like receiver roulettes on this slate, whereas like a lot of just different options you can go to where I think ownership might get decently, maybe not ownership might get decently spread out, but if you see ownership condensing on one area, it might be a good idea to zig to another spot, right? Basically what I'm trying to say is I think on this 3-game slate, one of the spots to maybe not eat the chalk is at the receiver position. And the reason why I say that is because there's so many different options that you can go to. Like, for instance, let's say, and I don't think it'll happen, but let's say Nelson Aguilar does become chalk on this slate. Play Henry Ruggs at 2% if Nelson Aguilar's 30%, right? I don't think that'll be the numbers, but that's just kind of an example because I don't feel like there's a lot of guys that just are strong, awesome plays. Like I will say DeAndre Hopkins in the last game, we didn't talk about him a ton, but he is probably the best option on the entire slate of all the skill position players. So he's going to be like a jamming guy, kind of like the Devontae Adams was last week on that other slate. I know Adams didn't have a terrific game, but I think that could make sense. And if that ends up being the case, we saw Devontae Adams not have as great of a game. look for leverage opportunities, right? Play Aaron Jones, right? Instead of Devontae Adams. And then you'll, find a way to kind of leverage that Devontae Adams ownership. Now with DeAndre Hopkins, find a way to leverage with Christian Kirk, right? Go to him. He's a guy that has massive upside and might not be as owned and is like so much cheaper. So that's a great way to kind of make your lineups different. So yeah, I know I kind of moved off to a different game, but it's just kind of talking some game theory. And this is more of a tournament slate, in my opinion, not as much of a cash game slate. From the looks of it though, it might be a good slate to pay for Darren Waller. I get it's a really difficult matchup, but what do we want to pay for on this slate, Holden? Have you found anything that you absolutely love? It kind of makes sense to maybe look at Darren Waller more seriously than in most weeks. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I think so. Well, I just love Darren Waller anyways. Right now, he's right up there with Kelsey. He's just been blowing up. He's one of two tight ends I could take down a slate on any week.
Yeah, and I guess the other point to make with him is, here's his last 3 games, right? 45, 14.5, and 30. Like, he has been an absolute monster and has blown up. And I guess the other point to make is at the tight end position, you can naturally get a wide receiver 1 at your tight end position. Like, that's something that, like, those are points that are difficult to get, right? You just can't plug in a wide receiver at that tight end spot. So that's pretty interesting. And hey, it's a deeper tight end slate than I expected. Wouldn't be a terrible spot to maybe go like a Gesicki and Waller little stack and put that in the flex, and that makes you different too. Again, I'm talking about all these different ways to be different, and some of them are bad, maybe some of them are good, but try and think outside the box, because again, it's a 3-game slate, right? There's going to be a lot of duplicated lineups, and you want to get unique. Like, you could literally build a team out, and what you could do is you could put DeAndre Hopkins in there, and then just take DeAndre Hopkins out for Christian Kirk, and you just left $4,000 on the table, Holden. $4,000. It sounds crazy, but it's not as crazy as you think if Christian Kirk does have that blow up game and DeAndre Hopkins only goes for 10, right? That's such a way that can make you different. You could take everything down. So it's definitely more of a game theory kind of slate, tournament slate. I think I will play a little bit of cash games. I don't know how much I'll play. I'll probably reserve that for Sunday, but ultimately this last game isn't the best game on the slate, and we need some injury news on the Dolphins, and I'll really be looking to see what ownership projections are. That's kind of how I would approach it all.
All right, very good. What else we got here? We got a little Sunday action is what we're going to talk about momentarily. Just want to remind everybody again, make sure that you check out the bet side too. We got Run Pure Sports, but when you use the code Buckets15 and sign up for sports, you can add the bet side for $20. Like you said, Tyler's kicking ass. Spread is here with the NBA stuff. And don't think that you can't use the bet side to help you out in the DFS side too. It really does help. It just helps as kind of a grid to look at. And then on the other side, if you're betting player props, you use the Run Pure Sports side. All right, Kansas City, Atlanta. Like, how does Kansas City not put up 300 points this week, Keg? Like, this is the first time in 4 weeks that the Chiefs get to face a non-top 10 defensive secondary. So, and basically secondary is only there. But Kansas City, 10.5-point favorites. Don't mind a double-digit favorite there. 53.5 is the total. Maybe the total to look at is the Kansas City side. Can both sides put up points here, Keg?
I don't know. What do you say about the Atlanta Falcons? Like we talked about earlier, another choke job of 17-0, blah, 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 blah. Tampa Bay comes back, hangs 31. And another week where the Atlanta Falcons lose a game they probably should have won, right? It's like Fred Flintstone handicapping. Falcons bad, Chiefs good. Give me the Chiefs, right? But the problem is, last week, another week, it felt like the Chiefs were sleepwalking through 30% of the game. And in a game that they should have easily covered and won comfortably, ends up being a 3-point game. They did have the ball 42 minutes, like we said, but still, they won the game by 3, man. And the team has not had a full 60-minute effort in what feels like 2 months. But they're good enough to keep winning games regardless if they cover or not. This game feels like a 3-touchdown win over a bad team, but that's only if they come to play 60 minutes and not 35 or 60 minutes. So, right now at 10.5, if this line were 9.5, I would bet the Chiefs. Okay. And I will probably bet the Chiefs if it if I see like 10 minus $1.05. At 10.5, I just don't want any part of it. It puts you in a spot where you really don't want to lay the 10.5, but you want no part of the Falcons either at plus 10.5. I like your call. Maybe you look at a Chiefs team total. Let me check real quick what the Chiefs team total is. Chiefs team total 32.5. Man,
That's a lot.
That's high. Maybe you take the Chiefs in the first half over 16.5. Can they put up 17 in the first half against Atlanta? Yeah, of course they could.
I don't, Jay, can anyone? I mean, they're the best first half team, the worst second half team, and that's the Falcons. So
you know what? That's fair. That's fair. As for the total, slight lean to the under, and I'll tell you why. The Falcons have only hit 27 points, and I think 3 of the last 7 weeks. And in the games that they didn't cover, they're scoring 9, 16, 17. I think they'll need more than that to get this total to 55. And the reason I do think that is because I think the one thing people are sleeping on with this Chiefs team this year is that defense is very good, man. And they are way better than they were a year ago. And it's the biggest reason why I think that they're going to repeat and win another Super Bowl. So I'm going to say slight lean to the under. And I guess I don't mind the Chiefs team total first half over 16.5. And if I see minus 10, lay $1.05, probably be on the Chiefs. If I see 9.5, I'm definitely on the Chiefs. At 10.5, I just don't want any part of it.
Mangone, I played 1 or 2 lineups a week on FanDuel, took most of my money out of there. But the one lineup I've been putting in every single week is Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey over the last 5 weeks. And it's paid off, I think 2 or 3 times at this point. Like if you're going to do that Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey stack, A, you're going to have to find some good scrubs. Or B, you just go Mahomes, Kelsey, or Mahomes, Hill. Like, what are we doing with the Chiefs? And then for me, I think that that both Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage are in play here. And that's in Hurst too. I guess those are the only 3 guys I'm looking at from the Atlanta side. Am I missing anybody?
No, I mean, listen, Holden, you know me. I'm Team Calvin Ridley, man. I mean, this guy's the man. Like awesome. He just prints. Like, just keep playing him. It's like every week we just say play Calvin Ridley if Julio Jones is out, and it just prints every single time. So I like him. I don't mind Russell Gage too. I think he makes some sense. And of course, it's because of the pace that they play at. They're going to be playing fast. We expect the Chiefs to play decently fast too. The one thing to note too is like the Falcons have definitely been a lot better against the run. And hey, that means you might see Kansas City passing more, and that's obviously going to be a good thing. So yeah, I'm definitely in on that. The only thing that's unfortunate is this game's not in a dome, right? It's in Kansas City, so you can see a little bit more of a grosser football game from the Falcons. I think that sometimes helps them out a little bit and makes them look better. I feel like on the road they can be a bit grosser. You also got to keep in mind, like we see them in the dome 8 times a year, and then we also see them against like the Saints once, so they're in a dome, and then they might get another dome game on the schedule on away game. So it's like you don't see them outdoors as much as you'd think. So I'd be a little cautious with the Falcons just because I feel like they play like a lot worse on the road. It could just be a little dicey. And then the Chiefs side, yeah, keep playing Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. The reason I lean Travis Kelce over Tyreek Hill is similar to what I mentioned with Darren Waller. I'm getting wide receiver 1 production. I'm literally getting that at my tight end spot, which is very hard to find. And I don't love paying up for tight end as much. It depends on the slate and if I have the value to do that, because the value at tight end, being able to get like a 2.9K or 2.5K tight end that's decent enough to get you more studs in like that 6K wide receiver range is worth it. It gets you enough guys. But if we have value on the slate, if we have like a Tony Pollard that's randomly in there that's super cheap, you can get Travis Kelce at tight end spot. And I just think it makes a ton of sense to do that. It's similar to last year. Like, for instance, last year it was the year of jamming guys in, right? The absolute studs that crush Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, jamming Michael Thomas. The reason we jammed in Michael Thomas is receiver was kind of gross, and Michael Thomas was just giving you 25 points at the receiver position. It wasn't as predictable, and it was kind of frustrating last year. So that's how I feel this year is gone. If I have the value on the slate, give me Kelce over Tyreek Hill pretty much every time right now.
All right, guys, we got one more game to get to. Titans Packers Sunday night. As we've already discussed, we're all pretty excited about this game. It's, each team's strength offensively is the defense's weakness, which is kind of fun. Then from the bet side, I mean, this is Sunday night here. This is week 16, Sunday night, marquee game of the week, Keg. Tennessee, 3-point dogs, 3.5-point dogs somewhere, some places on the road. 56 is the total. 56 is a high total. But, boy, if there's no win in this game, I can see both teams hitting this total and more, Keg. Are you with me or against me?
Yeah, I'm totally with you. And we talked about right before we started, could be the game of the year. I'm very excited to watch this football game. The story's been the same all season long for the Titans. They have an elite offense, which has been top 3 in most offensive analytic categories all year. Like, I think they've been pretty much 3rd in offensive DVOA the entire year. They have an animal in Henry that is killing it this year, and a quarterback who over the last 16 games has put up more impressive numbers than Patrick Mahomes in Ryan Tannehill, right? Now, the other side of the ball, the Titans have almost an equally bad defense, bottom 5 in the league bad, extraordinary ineptitude on 3rd down. They literally cannot get off the field on 3rd down, right? So there is nothing new with this Titans team. It's been the exact script all year. You're going to get a team that will probably hang close to 40, and they're probably going to give up close to 35. Now, the Packers, somewhat similar this year. The difference is they're just less bad on defense. They can hang 35 every week on offense. They have an MVP candidate in Rodgers. They got the best wide receiver in football in Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones always gets what you need him to do done on the ground. The difference is the Packers are like 17th in defense, not 28th, 29th. Now, you guys bring up an interesting point. Game specific, it's like the worst thing the Packers do on defense against one of the best running backs in the game with the Titans, and vice versa. Titans can't stop a leak in their passing defense, and Aaron Rodgers is going to do whatever he wants to do. When I see the spread, I think the Packers are home. They're a field goal favorite at Lambeau. They're going to score as many points as the Titans, and I do think that they have overall a better defense. That makes me lean the Packers -3 here. Now, I would probably wait to see. I don't know. Like you're saying, there are some 3.5s in the marketplace. I don't know if it's like, I did not expect the Chiefs Saints game to go from 3 to 2.5, but the Saints were home in that game, right? So I don't know. We're probably not going to see a 2.5 here. If we did, I would be all over the Packers. Even at 3, I lean taking the Packers at Lambeau. So as far as the total, over. 56 doesn't scare me. 60 wouldn't scare me. Not with these two teams. Like, this game could break 70, and I wouldn't think anything of it, man. Both teams can hang 35 in this game. Even though it's going to probably be ridiculously cold out there, like you said, as long as the wind is under control and we're good there, the offenses are just too good. So, yeah, I think this game probably goes over 56 comfortably, and I'll lean Packers at -3.
Okay. Very good. Here we go. You want to get into this, Mangone. Let's do it. I want to get there with you. Both quarterbacks got to be in play. Tannehill's going absolutely bananas after kind of slowing down last week. Put up 37 DK points. He's even running a little bit too. Aaron Rodgers, maybe the MVP, so efficient. It's amazing. Derrick Henry, unstoppable against this defense. Do we play Aaron Jones this week? Is he in play? Obviously, in a showdown slate he is, but if you want to play that Friday to Monday slate, that's fine too. We got Adams, we got Brown, we got Davis, and then at tight end, we still got Tunyon, and we got Jonnu Smith. This is just a delicious bowl of fantasy goodness.
Oh yeah, I mean this is one of the best, man. But like I'll say this, there is no way you're gonna see me not be on all the Devontae Adams overs, all the Devontae Adams, like just everything, man. I mean this Titans defense has been terrible in the secondary, and like one thing Aaron Rodgers I've noticed with him is, man, some of the more difficult matchups he's definitely had some struggles in. But this year he's been lights out. I'm just more so talking over like a sample size, like last 2-3 years, he has had his issues. But when it is a soft defense, he absolutely just carves them up. And this defense, the Titans, they are soft. So I am excited to see what they do with Devontae Adams here. He should absolutely destroy him. Another reason why I really like him is I know they're going to lean on him, right? The reason I was semi-concerned with him against the Panthers was because I was concerned what would happen is they would get up big and then they wouldn't have to lean on him. But he is a weapon, and they will use the weapon because they are going to be in a shootout. It is going to be a back and forth, really good game. They are going to need him. So I love Devontae Adams. He'll definitely be my captain on at least one of my teams for sure. Curious to see what his price tag will be. On the other side, let's talk about another weapon, man. His name is Derrick Henry. He is going to be fun to watch here in this spot because the thing is the Packers, they basically scheme their defense where they're okay giving up like these like short chunk yardage plays, but it's like, you're not going to give Derrick Henry 3 yards. If you give him 3 yards, you're just giving him basically 7. You're giving him like 10 then. Like you're just letting Derrick Henry do everything. Like it'd be an absolute disaster to do that. So I definitely have some concerns on the attack of Green Bay. I think that defense could have a lot of trouble. I do want to watch the matchup of Jair Alexander versus A.J. Brown. That's going to be fun. I think people might stay away from A.J. Brown in the showdown format. I'm curious to see how people handle that. Because A.J. Brown, he is matchup like proof. He does not care who he's going up against. I know Jair has been the best in the league, but if you tell me you can get A.J. Brown at like 1% on the FanDuel MVP slot, like, do you sign up for that, Holden? I mean, that just sounds like something you could easily have go on. What do you think of that, Holden?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
I don't think it's a terrible idea to look at.
Everyone is in play. Everyone that I mentioned is in play. I will have 40 lineups with different captain in every single one of them, I think.
Yeah, and if you're fading AJ Brown, go to Corey Davis, right? Like Corey Davis will probably have a really good game if AJ Brown does not. It's going to be a fun one. I don't have any salaries up. I went and looked. They're not up yet on those Sunday night slates. So can't really go into details on that, but a lot of ways to go. Don't be afraid on the Packers. I think the best way to maybe get a little different is don't be afraid to maybe play, I don't know, Scantling in the MVP slot, like to get like really crazy. Cause like that secondary is so bad, right? Holden, like you could see anyone pop. You could see Lazard, Scantling, Bob Tonyan. So there's a ton of different guys that could go out and have big games there. It's going to be a fun one. I wish we had the salaries in front to look at. Aaron Rodgers should obviously have a massive game. I expect Tannehill to do well. And a lot of people, I think they try to play Derrick Henry and they're afraid to play Tannehill with him. It's a showdown slate. Don't be afraid to do that. I think it's okay. I think on normal slates, I understand you not wanting to do that, but I think a lot of people, because they normally play DFS and they say, oh, you can't be playing the running back and quarterback together, especially Tannehill and Henry. I think you'll see that a lot on this showdown slate, but don't be afraid to do that. I don't think that's like a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. They have 1.5 million different things here that they're offering for NFL and DraftKings. There's no showdown yet.
Well, they have showdown, but they don't have the they have 10 of them, but they have like the 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, but they don't have our game.
They don't have this one. Yeah, and it's because they want you to sign up for other ones first. That's their, everyone complains, oh, we need bigger prize pools in the golf. I always see that on Twitter. And I'm like, that's because they want you to play Thursday Night Showdown. They don't want your money tied up for 4 days. They want you playing Christmas. They want you playing, the Saturday slate. They want you hanging out with Jay sweating football, man.
Hey, Dre, did you finish The Mandalorian yet?
Well, is it done? I have watched every episode so far.
How could you think there was another episode after this last episode, which easily was the best episode in the history of any show?
I mean, okay, yeah, I don't know. Like, does that mean there's no season 3?
Yeah, there's a season 3, and Boba Fett's getting his own show. Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, all right.
Amazing.
It was good.
It was good? That was it, huh?
It was good, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the effects were really impressive.
Yeah, I think it's the greatest show ever.
I mean, can we settle down?
No, I'm serious. I could not be more serious. It's connecting me with my childhood. My first memory as a child was going. Down. No, my first memory was going to see Star Wars in movie theater when I was 3.
First of all,
Luke's back.
A 28-minute show cannot be the greatest show of all
It was
time.
more like 45 this week, but yeah,
If
easily.
it's not an hour, don't even talk to me about
What? So Seinfeld is not in the mix? Cheers is not in the mix?
it. Yeah, Seinfeld is in the mix.
Oh,
the
is
au-
it? Because it's
Is
not
the
an
office
hour.
is the
No,
office in
no,
the mix?
no,
Because
great.
that's an hour and that's an amazing show.
Greatest Seinfeld is in its like greatest sitcom of all time category, right? But I mean, come on, man. Mandalorian's better than like Breaking Bad in this.
Not even close. Not even
Oh,
close.
man,
This
I
is
mean,
a million
I'm
times
gonna-
better.
Yeah, this is where I have to step in. Breaking Bad's a great show. It's
Of course you think that. Of course you guys think that
It's a slow
because
burn.
you don't understand the greatness. Have you even watched The Mandalorian?
I have not yet, but
No, so don't even start. Man, don't even start. You know, you're watching The Golden Girls. You probably think that's your favorite ever.
Kush, this is an awful take by you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not an awful take.
This
It is
is awful.
for people that love Star Wars, that grew up with this, to see that final scene. Chills.
Holden.
Almost cried.
Hold on. Yeah, spoiler alert. First of all, second of all, let's
First of all, it's a week later. If you haven't watched The Mandalorian, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Then
so-
turn it off, Simon. Too bad.
He's
You know
giving-
what? I also
he's
came
giving
up
our-
with this.
He's giving our producer the finger.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, Simon, here's the deal. And I came up with this years ago because I used to do talk show, and every Monday we'd come on after Game of Thrones. We say, okay, you have 48 more hours to watch it. So by Wednesday, if you didn't see it, you're done.
That's
You're
not.
done.
That's not.
This came out last Friday. This came out last Friday,
Can we
and now
stop
we're
right-
here. Don't give me this binge stuff. Watch the damn show. If you
Can
don't
we-
like it, close your ears all the
Can I
time.
put-
Greatest show ever.
Can I put my hand up?
Just goes, Ken. You guys are tilting me.
You just said the Game of Thrones in a sentence, and then said Mandalorian's the greatest show of all time. So
It was
Mandalorian's better than Game of Thrones?
Oh,
yes.
Hold it.
Very close. Game of Thrones. Sopranos is right there too. Don't sleep on the Sopranos, but Mandalorian definitely.
Let's just listen. Let's just do this. Let's throw Holden. Let's take him and throw him into the Shark Tank on Twitter. Just tweet that out.
Do it.
Mandalorian best show ever, and
Yes.
it'll be
I
fun
already
to watch.
have.
I will grab
And
my
like everyone
popcorn.
agreed with me. They're like, you know what? You're right. It's the greatest show ever. I already threw it out there.
I can't wait until the next time you're on the live show with me, so we could get the chat's take on what you
Good. I don't care about the chat's take because I know what they're going to say. They're going to go.
He's so salty.
I know. Well, I'm just pissed off because you don't understand how great this show is. It's like it picks up 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and it just ties everything together. Ahsoka Tano's in it. It's amazing. Simon, close your ears.
I don't think I've ever seen you this passionate about anything since the day I met you.
Well, you should have seen me yesterday. But all right. Yeah. This just don't mess with me in like the original Star Wars trilogy. It just it's the foundation.
You know what, bro? I love that you stand for something.
Yeah.
And if it's Star Wars, so be it.
Unfortunately, this is my
Joey
stand.
Joey Work goes, show sucks.
By the way, so
Joey Work. What does he know? Go bet on table tennis, Joey Work. Get out of here.
I love how Joey Work is like Holden's like enemy, like at Rump.
I love it. We do bust each other's balls badly, though.
It's so good, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's
So
good.
good.
So
Like
I
I feel
will say-
bad busting Mangone's balls like Joey and I bust each other's balls because Mangone's just too nice. What's up, Mangone?
So listen, I have found your tweet. This was on December 7th. Best show on TV. No way. And then you got some spoilers. I got you saved,
Right.
Simon. Nothing. There's one like on that tweet. So
No, there's another one I threw out recently.
no.
All right, I'll look for that one.
I threw another one out right after this last one last week. That's the one.
Did you
That's
know
the one.
Did you expect that at the end? Because that was surprising to me. But I'm not like super like I've watched all the Star Wars. I enjoy them, but I'm not like you are. But did you know that was going to happen at the end?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
I had no. That's why it was just mind blows. Like, you know.
Bro, I didn't even know that wasn't Baby Yoda.
Oh, he is Baby Yoda. Oh, you really thought that was Yoda's
I
grandkids?
literally thought that was like Yoda. Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was Yoda. Yeah, that's probably why you didn't enjoy it. Did you find it yet, Mango?
No, I mean, I found one that's like from like November, so that was way.
Oh, of
before
course
that,
you
and
found. Of course you found the one with one like, and not the one where
No,
everybody's
I found it, but
know
you
what?
said it's
You're right.
you said it's the last one you had, and that was not the last one. So I was confused. I was still looking, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
All right.
I mean, it's fine. We should probably close now. I think this is our time to go. I hear the music.
I love it. I love it.
So there it is. Mandalorian, favorite show to watch ever. 14 comments, 35 likes. I mean, this is amazing, Mango. You go and you pick out the worst one.
You see how Mango?
I can't find it. I'm telling you, I can't find it. Maybe you. Did you find Mandalorian wrong in that one? Because I spelled it right. I looked up how to spell Mandalorian. Maybe you spelled Mandalorian wrong.
No, you're right. I might have gone Mandalorian.
There you go.
5 points.
There we go. It's
all right,
not
let's
my
get
fault.
out of here. Our poor producer, Simon. I ruined it for him. Well, actually, you ruined it yourself. Here's the other thing. We are 72 hours. We are 72 hours after the finale.
Can I just say,
I've seen it.
One thing I will say about this conversation, I love your take on spoilers. If you don't watch the show, bro.
Oh, screw you.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't care. You got 72 hours to watch it. I came up with this 72 hours. You don't watch it by 72 hours. That's it. If I haven't seen Breaking Bad, right? If I haven't seen Breaking Bad, you're not allowed to talk about it till I see it. Give me a break.
As mine and Simon's buddy Dean says, we live in a society, man. Come on, you can't at least say, "Hey, I'm gonna give a spoiler here," and then say it so people can close their ears.
It's not a spoiler. It's been out for 3 full days.
It's a terrible take.
Is Simon not done anything but sit here and work for 3 full days? Wrong. He has one of the weekend days off. He has one of the weekend days off.
Simon,
he could have stayed up till 2 a.m. and watched it by himself if he really wanted to see it. But no, he decided to let himself get spoiled. That's fine. We're out of here. I'm done with this.
Simon,
you guys completely tilted me. Mandalorian's the best show ever in the history of the world. Man, go jump in the ocean. Keg, I don't even know what to say to you. Joey Work. Faru.
Simon, I would like to personally apologize for Holden's conduct on the show today.
I hate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the like button. NBA Hardwood is free. Debuts today. Final Countdown is premium. That's me and JSU leading right up to tip-off. Oh, here's a spoiler for you. John Wall and Boogie Cousins ain't playing because they were around a COVID person who was James Harden, who said he wasn't at the strip club. Strippers got to eat too, boys.
Strippers got to eat, bro.
Gotta eat too.
Definitely.
Buckets 15 if you want to sign up for Run Pure Sports. If you love what you saw here.
I love this show. I love
Run Pure Bets. Add it for $20. Keep an eye out for our Christmas content. Simon, thanks for running the show. It's your fault. Keg, love you. Mango.
Love you, buddy.
Hey, you guys have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't see you again before then, I think I will. Maybe I won't. Who knows? And keep running pure.
Running pure.
Run pure.